Hey, what's going on, guys? What's going on? I hope you guys can see me. I hope you guys can hear me okay. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the economy as well as this interesting list that I saw that has 10 jobs you can do from home that will pay you over $100,000 a year. So we're going to talk about these 10 jobs, and I'm also going to tell you about Dr. Q's Fresh Breath Club and some other things. So get comfortable, buckle up, seatbelt. We're going to get started on the Black Financial Channel right now. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the Black Financial Channel. That's theblackfinancialchannel.com. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. I'm your friendly neighborhood finance professor. On the Black Financial Channel, we talk about Black wealth and Black economics every single day, sometimes as much as 10 times a day, under one condition. The condition is that we are Black first. Black first means that we put our community at the top of our priority list. Black first means that we build wealth with our families. Black first means we educate our kids. Black first means we break generational curses. If you are a member of the B1 Black First community, put a B1 in the chat. Let me know that you're Black first. Let me know that you care about your kids. Let me know that you're breaking curses. Let me know that you're being smart over this holiday season where they're trying to suck all the money out of your pocket like a vacuum cleaner, and you are at least spending your money and investing your money in things that are going to build your future. So give me a yes in the chat if you agree. Also, give me a yes to let me know you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me okay. I want to make sure I'm coming through all right. So let's see here. Shout out the city you're from. I see Gregory, Scumbag, Scumbag 113. That's funny. Bambi. Marcel, Deidre, how you doing? Aubrey Smoke, good to see you. Amber Jameson, good to see you. El Hodge, what's going on, man? All right, thank you so much for giving me the yeses to let me know you can hear me. All right, so one thing I got to do, but I just got to do this before I forget. There's a sponsor of this podcast by the name of Dr. Q's Fresh Breath Club, and I met this brother. He at the All Black National Convention, if I'm not mistaken, and he's doing some really interesting stuff involving fresh breath. And he says he has a suite of eco-friendly oral hygiene products. The Dr. Q's Fresh Breath Club, it's not just products, but it's a movement. Dr. Q's is on a mission to build a B1 multinational, multi-billion-dollar institution. Utilizing B1 support, B1 buying power can make this happen. Make the switch, and the URL is right there on the screen. Dr. Q's, and that's FBC, stands for Fresh Breath Club. And so thank you for Dr. Q for sponsoring this podcast. We got to support each other. So I'd love for you all to go take a look at that Black-owned business as you're spending money over the holidays. I'll leave the URL on the screen for a second. All right, so let me ask y'all this. You guys know in the Black Wealth Bootcamp, we talk about getting off the corporate plantation. We talk about the fact that you don't have to work for anybody unless you want to. We've talked extensively about the fact that there's a difference between working for someone because you have to versus working for someone because you want to. And we've talked also about building wealth. Now, how many of you, let's do a quick little confessional real quick, and it's okay to confess this. How many of you are still not quite able to get off the corporate plantation? Give me a yes if you are not able to get off the corporate plantation, or you are able, you're feeling a little bit stuck and you're just not sure what the next move is. And okay, Mister says I retire in 4 years from my government job, looking to start a new career, hope to achieve economic freedom one day. Give me a yes. It's okay. It's okay. I want to tell you about yourself, and I'm going to tell you something good about yourself. I'm going to tell you something good. Okay, you ready? You ready? What you are is what is referred to as a wantrepreneur. You are a wantrepreneur, not an entrepreneur, but a wantrepreneur. And that's the first step toward becoming an entrepreneur. I used to be a wantrepreneur. I was stuck. I had jobs. I know what it's like to work for the man. When I was at Syracuse University, I thought that having lots of education and a high salary would take away the intense, excruciating pain of oppression. I really thought that if I had enough education, because I was an educated Negro, I was educated in finance. I mean, I'm a master of money. Like, that's literally what I studied for many, 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 many years. And I thought I was free. I thought that I could get a dream job. And then I learned that dreaming of labor, it might not be the best way to go. It's kind of like being the tallest midget in the room. Like, I want to be the tallest midget in the room, but ain't no midgets ever played in the NBA, right? So being the tallest midget, I don't even know with political correctness, maybe the word midget is banned now or something. Every word gets banned. But y'all know what I'm talking about. No disrespect if you are a midget, but seriously, it's kind of uncomfortable because some of you are very talented. Some of you are supposed to be the boss. Some of you are not meant to fit under anybody's umbrella. But here's the thing. There's no shame in having a job. First of all, many of us start off this way. Many of us continue to have jobs. If you have a job that you like, or a job that pays you well, or a job that treats you well, or all three, then it's okay to keep your job. It's totally fine. I will never shame you. I'll never walk up and say, you still working that job? You're supposed to quit that damn job. No, if it's a good job, you keep the job. It's like a relationship, you know. I mean, marriage is marriage good or bad? Well, marriage is good if it works, and it's bad if it's not. An abusive marriage, you need to get up out of that. But a healthy marriage is wonderful because it can make your life better. Your job can become your source of cash flow, right? That source of cash flow is what you then do to make yourself into a boss. Becoming a boss does not mean always that you're working for yourself. It doesn't mean you always the man. Doesn't mean you're always in charge. Being a boss means that you own something. So if you own something, then you're winning. You're absolutely winning. So anyway, let's go on. Let's keep going. So let's see. Akia says, "Bruh, how much money you took out of black neighborhoods to fight this so-called oppression?" And first of all, he looks like a white guy, so I probably shouldn't even respond to him. But actually, I love questions like that because actually, one thing I want to tell you is this: in the Black Business School, one of the things we've done, and we've educated millions and millions and millions of our people, is we've done it at a fraction of the cost of what people spent going to college. A lot of our students, in fact, how many of you are students in the Black Business School? How many of you have ever taken a class in the Black Business School, enjoyed our excellent customer support team, award-winning? How many of you have worked with our many instructors in everything from law to entrepreneurship to estate planning to everything in between? How many of you have ever participated, even in our free stuff? We do free Powernomics training every Wednesday night. If you want to join that, by the way, give me a yes in the chat if you've done that. One of the things that we've been able to do is we've been able to create a true HBCU. We've been able to create an institution that runs for a fraction of the cost, that is able to educate more people on all the principles of Powernomics and wealth building. We've been able to get our people together in a way where they are getting, our students tell us all the time, they're getting 10 times more from us than they got from their university. And they owe that big university $100,000. They don't owe us anything. They leave us and they're not in debt at all when they get done with our programs, but we give them specific skills that relate specifically to Black wealth. So Syracuse University, where I used to teach, the tuition now is over $70,000 a year. It costs $70,000 a year to learn from people like me at Syracuse University. We've reduced that to the point where our students are paying just a few $100s a year max, if that much, right? So I'm glad he asked that question, and I wanted to make sure that we answer that question because when you start a Black-owned business, there's always the Negro naysayer that's like, why you got a business? The nerve of you to hire Black people, the nerve of you to have a business. But that same person will go spend their money with white folks all day long, will go give $100,000 to a big white university, will go and buy designer clothes from white folks, cars from white folks, everything else from white folks. But when a Black-owned business shows up and everything ain't free, they got the nerve to get mad. Well, if you're going to get mad, go to Walmart, get mad at them. They're taking your money. They're giving nothing back. If you want to get mad, go to Popeye's Chicken. They took billions of dollars out of your community. They ain't giving nothing back. We have hired dozens of Black people. We have put millions of dollars into the community. We have elevated the community. That's why Kanye West and Ice Cube and all those guys were calling me, is because people are trying to figure out the formula that we have. And the formula is that we know how to educate the world on a shoestring budget. And we're hiring Black folks. We're getting it done. We are getting it done. So if you really love Black people, you'll at least investigate on that. Now, I'm not going to deal with that question anymore because I feel that person might be a troll. But at the end of the day, I like those questions because I enjoy it. I enjoy discussing these things out loud so you can understand that Black business models are effective, but you cannot get upset every time a Black business is making a couple dollars. Seriously, it's a self-hatred kind of thing. It's kind of weird. People will get very angry at a Black business owner charging a fair price for a product, but they have nothing to say to all the big white corporations that are taking all your money and giving you nothing back, giving you illness, giving you a stress, giving you worthless items back. We're elevating families, man. So don't do that. That's not right. That ain't fair. So anyway, don't discriminate against your own businesses. I mean, at least if you're gonna do a boycott the people who don't like you. Don't boycott the people who do. Now, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Share, subscribe if you haven't done it yet. Speaking of that, there's a big discount on our Prime program. If you'd like to actually join that, we have a great stock options investment program and stuff like that in the Black Business School. We meet on a regular basis. If you're interested in taking a look, feel free to go to drboyceprime.com. So let me give you the list. Here's a list of 10 jobs that were listed in CNBC that you can do from home that pay you $100,000 a year. Now, let me tell you this. This list is a little bit of a cheat because every 2 jobs are kind of the same. The jobs they tend to be tech-based, and it's sort of like the same job at 2 different companies. So it's really 5 different jobs, but they're all kind of technology-based. So I'm just going to give you the list and let you do what you want with it. So the first job is software engineer at a company called Kubient. They're offering $100,000 to $150,000 for software engineers, and they are allowing them to work from home. Another company called Glia Cell Technologies is doing the same. The second one is data engineer. So those are two jobs, right? So that's really 3 and 4. Touring is paying 100 to 150,000. Into pros consulting is paying 100 to 150,000. The third area is project manager. So ActionNet is paying 150 to 200,000 for a project manager working remotely, and Yakogawa Electric is paying 100 to 150,000 for a project manager working remotely. Number 4, and I'm gonna tell you guys something that I'm noticing about this list. So really, it's not number 4. Actually, it's more like number 6. Sorry, because they're putting 2 jobs in each category. So it's like the same job at 2 different companies. So it's really not a list of 10. I apologize for that. It's really more like a list of 5. So this is how they're laying it out in this article on CNBC. The next one is account executive at Scaled Agile, paying 150,000 to 200,000. Another one is an account executive at Essential Accessibility, paying 100,000 to 150. The fifth is product manager at Aspira for 100 to 150. The last one is product manager for DNS Filter, 100 to 150,000. They said also new research from LinkedIn shows that nearly 3,000 from over 3,000 executives, 68% of business leaders are concerned that a looming recession would force companies to wind back some of the progress made toward flexible working during the COVID-19 pandemic. And so a lot of companies are going to 4-day work weeks. A lot of companies are going to allowing people to work from home because of the pandemic. That's kind of being scaled back because the economy is kind of slowing down. But let me tell you something I noticed about these jobs. Okay, so I said 10 jobs. Really, it's more like 5. But let's quickly go through this list again, and not specific companies, but I want to give the categories. I'm going to tell you what I noticed in this theme here. Software engineer, data engineer, project manager, account executive, product manager. Now, here's the thing. Most of these jobs, there is no major in college that will teach you any of these things. Like if you go to college and you say, I want to study and learn how to be an account executive, they're going to be like, sorry, we don't have an account executive major in college. I've taught in college campuses for over 20 years. I've never seen an account executive major. Project manager, again, is not there's no major called project manager that I know of. Maybe there are schools that do have them. I'm not saying that they don't. But most schools that I've been at, I've taught at Syracuse University, Indiana University, the Ohio State University, University of Kentucky. I've also taught in China, Europe, and around the world. I've never seen a project manager major, but that may exist. I just haven't seen it. Data engineer might fit under data scientist, perhaps, maybe data sciences. Now, software engineer, we've seen that. Now, here's what I'm noticing about this. Now, I don't talk a lot about the job thing because, I kind of feel like there's an inherent danger that Black people face when we go work for white people. I'm sorry if you're white. I apologize if I've offended you. But you just for 400 years y'all been mean to us, and working for you just isn't good for our health. But here's the thing, right? In my view, this kind of speaks to something that's really interesting. Even if you choose to remain employed, which is totally okay. There's no judgment there. I'm really all about building wealth and ownership. To own things, you don't have to work for yourself. There are plenty of people who work for others who also own assets. I have students at the Black Business School who are multimillionaires who've worked for the same company for 25, 30 years. So do not think that this is that working for yourself is a requirement to build wealth. In fact, sometimes working for yourself can actually ruin your wealth because you may have trouble developing that stream of income that was as steady as your job. But what I'm noticing is that when it comes to this wealth building game and the ownership game, you've got to kind of learn how to pave your own way. You can't sort of just follow a template or a blueprint. You kind of have to start with the destination and work your way backward. In mathematics, we refer to that as dynamic optimization. Dynamic optimization is basically, it makes a very simple point. It says that the best way to solve a problem is to start at the end and work your way back. Figure out where you're trying to go and then take those steps to get there. Right. So what am I saying here? So what I'm saying is that you got to teach your kids to sort of carve their own way when it comes to their professional choices. So if I want to make this money as an account executive, I'm going to look around and see what does an account executive do at XYZ company. And then I'm going to go to college, major in whatever. Then I'm going to go get the specific skills I need to be an account executive. It sounds like something related to sales. Sales is the best skill you can have because if you can sell something, then you end up
finding your way to the money. People will give you money for whatever you were able to sell to them. Selling is one of the best skills a person can have. Right there next to it is technology. If your children understand technology, another one of those jobs, software engineer, is very tech heavy. So understanding technology in a technological world will lead you typically to the money, or people are going to have to pay you money for what you know. So ultimately, at the end of the day, what I'm noticing with these jobs, when you talk about data, what project manager, product manager, account executive, things like that, these very vague job descriptions, none of which seem to really fit easily into a college major, is that it's really a matter of thinking through the process and figuring out sort of where you want to be. Now, here's the other thing too. You know, the thing is that when you're talking about sort of this wealth game too, is never ever think that working for another person means you can't build wealth. At the end of the day, I've never ever told black people. It's just like voting. People get my message confused sometimes. Sometimes they think that I've been telling black people not to vote. Some of y'all don't vote, and I don't judge you. I don't shame you for not voting. But I've never told you. Have I ever said? Tell me, give me a yes or no. If you've been watching me for years, some of y'all been watching me for a long time. Have I ever said black people should never vote? Give me a yes if I've ever said that. Yes or no? I have never said that. I have never said all black people need to vote or all black people should not vote. All I've ever said is you should make your own decision and you should do the thing that empowers you the most. There's nothing wrong with that message. Unless you don't want power, unless you want to be a slave. I want you to be free. That's what I want for you. So the same thing is true when you're talking about working for other people. I've never told you that black folks are stupid if you work for other people. I've never said quit your job. I've said quit your job if it doesn't make you happy, because maybe there's either a better job for you or freedom might be the choice you need to make, which means you might need to acquire a new set of skills. But let me just say this. If you love your job and you're good with your job and you feel better, you feel more financially secure and financially safe doing this job, then fine. I just want you to own something. I need you to build some wealth. I need you to take that paycheck and make sure you turn it into a blue check. I need you to take that paycheck and turn it into some financial security for yourself. What does that mean? That means over Christmas, start this year, start right now. That means take a piece of that check, buy you some shares of stock. You'll own a big piece of America. You'll own a bunch of the biggest companies in America. Then save your money up, learn how to buy some property, at least buy a house, and then maybe get some rental property. What else? Maybe if you want to be a part of a business, join maybe an investment club or get together with your relatives, let them run the business, and you just invest, put some cash up, and own a piece of the business. Whatever it is, just make sure you own something. That's the key to wealth. The key to wealth is not entrepreneurship. The key to wealth is ownership. Do you understand what I'm saying? Give me a yes in the chat if you follow what I'm saying. Give me a yes if that makes sense. Okay. All right. So do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe. Also, please hit that notification bell. The notification bell is really important, so you'll be notified when we go live. Also, if you're looking for something for your kids that they can enjoy, that's going to make a difference for their lives, I've gotten together with other experts from the community, and we created some amazing financial flashcards for children. These financial flashcards will make sure your kid knows wealth better. They'll know wealth and investing better than most adults. I'm a finance professor. I've been teaching this a long time. Believe me, if your kid knows all these concepts on this flashcard, they will be the most financially literate person in your house, most likely. They're going to know things that the adults around them don't know. So feel free to get a copy of the financial flashcards, and if you want, buy some extras. Give them away to other kids in the neighborhood, because we have to make wealth our number one cultural core value in our community. We have to really focus on ownership and power. We can't sit around and complain that Jewish people own assets and they own that they have power. We have to learn how they got that power, and they got that power by teaching ownership and wealth building to their kids at an early age. So that's one of the things that the flashcards are designed to do. That's why I talk to you guys on this channel about wealth every single day. All right. So before I head out, I want to give a thank you to Dr. Q's Fresh Breath Club. Dr. Q is a brother that is running an awesome Black-owned business where he has a series of oral hygiene products that are 100% B1. And I want to thank him for being a sponsor of this podcast. You support us, we support you. And so you can take a look at his site right here. He's got some free trials and things like that. And this is a Black-owned business. You know, the URL's right there on the screen. And I hope you guys will go take a look at this brother's business because he's out here doing it. I've met him in person. He's a very nice guy, very smart guy. And he's somebody that I think you'd want to support as the holidays come up. You know, this isn't just Black Friday. This is Buy Black Friday. And buying Black has to become also another core value of our community. And if you actually want to, if you have a business and you'd like to sponsor a podcast and get a shout out, we have a few that we can offer. You can actually go to drboycefinance.com. That's drboycefinance.com. All right, guys. So thank you guys for listening. I'm going to check back in a little bit later. God bless you. I hope that your holiday is going great. And I look forward to talking to you guys again real soon. And please have a good night. And I'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care now. Peace.